Don Mattingly, Dodgers manager. Also just became a dad again. What do you got, 4 sons now, Donnie?
4.
Man.
4 plus 2.
4 plus, okay.
So 6, blended.
And how'd you come up with a name for your 4th son?
Lewis was named after my mother, Mary Louise.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, we met Lewis, and Lewis Riley is Lori's dad's middle name.
How about Stein Mattingly, like Steinbrenner Mattingly?
Stein Mattingly? I don't know. That doesn't fit, does it? But my mom was a Hoffman, so there's German in there. Oh. So yeah, it could work.
Man, it's tough enough to be a manager. Now you're newborn, and you're up at night, and man.
Yeah, it's great. Actually, it's great. Actually, I got a great wife, so I actually do sleep.
Good for you.
It's been pretty good. Yeah, she's good, and actually, Lewis is doing really good. He sleeps pretty good for us.
Does he got Dodger gear?
Oh yeah. He's got the, I don't know. I know Lori posts some stuff now and then. I don't know if she showed the Tommy Lasorda picture with Tommy holding him. I think she put it story time with Tommy. It was a pretty cool picture, actually. So they both had LA gear on. What
is the goal of spring training?
Get ready. For your team, as far as, getting ready for a major league season, you want your guys to be prepared and ready, to compete and kind of blend your guys together and kind of get what you want to get finished. On the backside of that, it's a really nice chance to see a lot of your young players, see what you have coming, and be able to kind of blend them in with your philosophies, I guess.
We were talking last hour to Scott Boras, and he's got this kid, Chris Bryant, with the Cubs, who may not be brought up for opening day. You guys faced the Cubs a couple times. Bryant did not play. Do you know much about Chris Bryant?
Just what we hear. We hear he's just legit. And the guys that I think, some of our AA coaches, I think, were in camp, and they seen him and said this cat was just legit. And I guess I'm looking forward to seeing him. Actually, you love seeing good young players come up, and sometimes the hype is they don't meet it, and sometimes they do.
But is it your call? Let's say you had this in the Dodgers minor league system, where you had a kid, and you're saying, "Hey, he's killing it." Can it be your call? Because this feels like it's financial, that they want to make sure that they hold off another year before he gets to be a free agent.
Well, I wouldn't get in their dugout per se, but I don't think it's necessarily the manager's call. I think you have discussions about a player and your evaluation of him. What I've heard, from their standpoint, is it's going to be development too. We kind of have a similar situation close to it in the kid named Corey Seager. This kid can flat out play. We feel like he could probably play right now if you ask the baseball people, but there is still some development there that they want to, finish off, and that's really important too. That you don't get them to come up and down, because then you could cost yourself a year and a half, 2 years if you kind of get him up here too quick. Yeah. It goes bad. Then you got to, kind of building back up.
Whose call was it to bring up Puig 2 years ago?
I think that was almost necessity. We'd had an injury, and we'd been trying to hold it off. Honestly, I think the organization-wise felt like there was still more for him to continue to learn. But we had I think it was in Colorado. It seemed like we had another injury, and we were struggling, and it was almost like it's time,
He might have stayed in the minors if you didn't have injuries?
I think he would have stayed a little longer. Yeah, for sure. If we were doing well and we wouldn't have had injuries to some of our main guys, there really wasn't a place for him without, obviously everybody's probably talked about our outfield situation last year, how many we had extra guys and things like that. It just would have came earlier. And if everybody was playing well, I think Yasiel would have got a chance to just continue to develop from the standpoint of, getting used to the system and how we do things.
The best hitter on your team is who?
Oh, I don't know. I'm looking at my board here now, and I got a lot of guys that I like. Gonzo has been the guy that probably has been the most consistent guy. But obviously, you see guys like Jimmy Rollins and Howie Kendrick. Crawford has swung the bat well. He swung the bat well for us last year. A lot of different guys, but the most consistent guy as far as production is probably Gonzo.
How's Kershaw?
He's good. Yeah, he
had the comeback. He got popped.
Yeah, he lost a tooth in that deal, and it sounds like he's going to need a little more dental work and get another one repaired. But he came out of that good. That ball wasn't really crushed. It was one of those almost like, which doesn't make it any better. You still get hit by a hard ball coming back. It's going to get hit at some speed. It's going to feel so obviously it broke a tooth and did some more damage. But I think he was lucky from the standpoint. It was almost one of those that's not, as you reach for that ball, it's probably not coming as fast as you think, and you almost kind of whiff it.
Yeah. And
then it gets you.
He's Don Mattingly, the Dodgers manager. How are your brackets, by the way?
Hanging in there with our brackets. Some of our other pools have went way south. So, but hanging in. I think we're about 6 points down right now in a couple of the brackets.
These new rules to speed up the game, is it going to have more of an effect on hitters or pitchers?
I don't think either. I think they're really good, Dan. And I don't like the word speed up. I like the word pace, because really the main thing it's doing is getting guys on the field and off the field. We're starting innings at 225 or 245 instead of what we were doing last year, which was like 345, 330.
Yeah.
And so we're cutting 18, 20 minutes off a game without changing anything. And the batter's box rule is pretty simple. Guys get used to just stay in the box. The only time you can't get out of the box is if you take a pitch. That's the only time. And so if you swing and miss, or the pitcher steps off, or he throws the first, you can step out. But the only time you can't get out of the box is if you take a pitch.
But don't you think this is about vanity, that these guys get in there and it's their airtime? Every game's on TV, so they milk it for all they can when they're in the batter's box.
Well, I don't know about all that, but it's definitely kind of slowly got to the point where it's taken longer for nothing, right? And I think that's the dead time that people dislike. I mean, I think players dislike it, watching it, and it's hard to watch when it takes. Guy takes a pitch, he steps out of the box, he takes 3 swings, he fixes his gloves, he gets back. That's just the time I think that's just dead for me. And it's like, hey, let's get in the box, play the game. Let's play the game. And if a guy's going too fast, you can take 1 foot out of the box and slow him down. It's not like he can just rush you. So I really don't think you'll notice a change other than the guys will be closer to the batter's box, and that the games, I think, will play at a better pace.
Yeah, and you're right about pace instead of saying speed, because my point is I can go to a game that lasts 3.5 hours and be entertained. But the entertainment part of it is the pace of the game. I can go to one that's 2 hours and 50 minutes, and it feels like it's 4 hours.
Exactly.
That it's just you can just ask guys to be accountable, to be here, and then we're ready to start. Be in the box, get ready to go. Be on the mound, be ready to go. I think the umpires have let it get away from them. That they have to just say, guys, get in, let's go, pitcher, let's go. And then I think that they'll get it. May get it the hard way, but they'll get it.
Guys will make the adjustment. I really believe that. It's like anything else. Guys will adjust, and I think you're absolutely right. And I can't blame it all on the umpires. I think it's been a slow deterioration of just a little too much extra time in a lot of areas. And I just think, let's get on the field, let's get off the field. That's all it is. Hustle in, hustle out. We're getting ready to start.
Last time, do you remember the first time you faced somebody who threw 100?
Well, I'm not sure if the guns were the same. I don't know if I faced anybody that threw 100. Randy Johnson was way up there. Nolan, surprisingly, even at an older age, was way up there. So, but Randy Johnson was probably the hardest thrower that I've ever faced.
But describe that, the difference between 95 and 100. How big a difference?
Not that much, honestly.
Really? I had heard it was.
It depends. There could be guys throwing 100 that show you the ball, and you see it better, and it wouldn't feel like 100. And there's guys throwing 92 that feel like the ball's getting right on top of you because you don't see it until the last second.
Who tipped pitches?
For me, a guy named remember Melito Perez?
Yeah.
When he was one of the guys with the White Sox before he came to the Yankees. And I wasn't a big guy for this, but every time he threw a split finger, he had one finger out of the glove, and you'd see it pop up. You go, oh, that's a split. Yeah.
Do you tell your teammates?
No question.
Okay.
No question.
But you didn't want to know?
Not in general, because a lot of times guys will say, okay, when he gets to the top of his windup and he turns his glove a quarter of an inch, then it's a fastball. And I'm like, that's way too late, you know? And so they're thinking they got it. I remember guys thought they had Randy Johnson. They may have had him, but it was like nobody was hitting him. I'm like, it's not doing you any good.
Well, Mark Gray said that unit was tipping his pitches.
Oh, yeah, that's what everybody says that, but I didn't see anybody doing a lot of damage.
Well, it's one thing to know what you're going to throw. I still got to hit the damn thing.
Exactly.
Hey, have fun the rest of spring training there, and hopefully we'll cross paths this year. Try not to get thrown out of a game, because now I think this time if you get thrown out, I get your pants.
Nah, we don't. Do we have a deal? We'll talk about this when I see you.
Okay.
I don't quite know where to go with this yet, because I don't think. Is there anything for me in this deal?
What do you want? What can I possibly give you?
I mean, do you have a jersey, or is there a Dan Patrick jersey?
I can send you Dan Patrick Show swag. I got a bunch of sweatshirts, and I got a sports Emmy I'll give you.
You know what? I could use a Dan Patrick swag sweatshirt hoodie that when I go down for the walk in the mornings down in Hermosa, it's kind of cold, so I need a hoodie.
You're soft. Look at you. You're LA soft now. It's cold in Hermosa.
It is cold.
What happened to you?
I'm up early, Dan, way before you probably get up.
All right, I'll send you. Are you an extra large or double?
Extra large.
Okay. I didn't want to say double X.
No, I'm just rocked out right now. 53, I got a young baby. I got to get in shape.
Look at you. All right, we'll send it out to you.
All right, Dan.
Hi, buddy. Thank you, Don.
All right,
Don Mattingly, Dodgers manager.